Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Freedom Friday here on the Ohio Patriot Network YouTube channel. I'm as always your host, the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to talk about our thoughts on the Chud The Builder shooting and other recent various encounters. There was a couple different, basically black on white or white on black encounters that happened in this past week or so, is what it is. And we're going to discuss that. We're also going to talk about some other stuff. Specifically, one story I want to talk about that came out, I believe it was last night, was Jake Paul and Waka Flocka Flame, who had basically gotten into it because, for those who don't know, you had that piece of shit Drewski, whose ass should have been kicked a long fucking time ago, is what it is. When he pulled that NASCAR crap, this was like over a year ago when he did that bullshit when he went white-faced to NASCAR and stuff like that, and then tried to assault black people. Because that's all, like, and it kind of goes back to the Chud thing, is what it is too, or Dalton Etherly. Because it's all people trying to stir shit up to. It's all fucking piece of crap motherfuckers trying to create racial tension where there is none, is what it is. And this is the problem with society in the children, is what it is right now. That's what people are talking about, this Dalton dude potentially being a CIA psyop. Whereas Drewski, I think, is just a piece of shit black supremacist, is what it is, dude. Which makes logical sense. And really, like, my problem the second time around with this asshole, it wasn't the fact that he was doing the whiteface Erica Kirk thing. It was the fact that he was then mocking Christianity and white people in general with that crap. And not getting his ass beat the second time around is what it is then. So, but yeah. And that's the problem in general. We should let people like this off when they really should just be, ostracized from society at the minimum, is what it is, and not just get a fucking, smack across the mouth, is what it is. On general principle, it would be then. But yeah, you had as this said earlier here. Yeah, Waka Flocka confronted Jake Paul after he went to do blackface in response to Drewski's Erica Kirk skit and broke down why it's offensive and nothing to joke about. Yet he won't go to Drewski and say the exact same thing. Because yeah, it's not funny to joke about that. Just not funny to do crap like that, dude. It's like you and your retarded low IQ motherfucking idiocy followers might think it's okay to do that shit, and I think it's funny. But again, it just proves that you're low IQ retarded morons, is what it is then. So, anyway, but moving on from there, I want to talk about a few things here that we're seeing recently and basically give my thoughts on the whole Chud the Builder, aka Dalton Etherly's recent so-called self-defense, is what it is there. I say so-called self-defense because the entire thing with this dude is, and I had no idea who this motherfucker was until like legitimately 2 or 3 days ago is what it was whenever this happened. I think it was Wednesday when it happened. So yeah, it would have been about 40 hours ago, give or take, was the first I think I maybe heard this dude's name, like the tagline name, I guess, would be there, or the username he was going by, is what it was there. Like once or twice before this. I never really paid attention to it. I don't really pay attention to any of these kick streamers or any of these real streamer people, is what it is in general, because I don't give a fuck, is what it is. Or in many cases, a lot of them are just Gen Z morons, is what it is, or even younger than that. It might be like older Gen Alpha for that matter now. Doing a bunch of this stupidity is what it is there. And that's the thing, like, maybe stop fucking with people and they're not going to fuck with you back, is what it is, bro. Like, and it's like that across the board too. Like we saw that recently with there was another guy who, you have all these dumbass YNs out there nowadays who are pulling this crap constantly, where they're going into places and being like, oh, let me randomly steal shit out of people's carts and stuff like that they're about to buy, is what it is. And then act like it's fucking funny and it's content and stuff like that when it's not. It's just a bunch of crap and you're just being a bunch of little asswipes, is what it is. And never got your fucking ass put over somebody's fucking knee and paddled, is what it was then. That's just what the problem is in many of these cases. Is the kids never got a fucking paddling when they were younger by their parents, is what it is there. And learn to respect the fucking elders, is what it is then in general. And really it's just like this entire like clout chasing generation of fucking retardation is what it is, which I think in many cases has to do with the fact you have so many of these people who have been their entire lives brought up in a computer age is what it is, being brought up on the internet age is what it is there. And instead of actually being decent parents to these kids when they're growing up in their toddler ages and stuff like that, they basically just handed their kids a tablet or iPhone or whatever it was at the time to play with. And then they wonder why these kids are just socially inept retards who want to sit there and fucking clout chase for fame and stuff like that. So they go out and get a real job is what it is there. Because that's the thing, right? You're 16, 17, 18 years old, dude. Like, go get a fucking real job, people. Go to a fucking Burger King. Go to McDonald's. Go to a Wendy's. Go to Arby's. Go to these places, what it is there. And flip some fucking burgers for minimum wage. Or, you know, do an internship someplace and be a better adult is what it is. And make better choices in your life is what it is. Don't be some little douchebag going out there and fucking with people just trying to do grocery shopping and mind their own fucking business. And then go and fuck with them is what it is then. And then you wonder why one of them pulls a gun on your dumbass is what it is then. Which is what happened. I believe it was either the beginning of this week or it was the end of last week is when it happened. Let me see if I can find that real quick, because there should be a video of that here someplace. I thought I pulled it up, but I guess I hadn't at this point. Let me go see if I can find that real quick then. And what's even stupider about that whole situation was with the dude and these black teens that were pulling that crap was you had the one idiot who was so fucking dumb that they were actively out there laughing as this dude has a revolver in his hand, and it's like, how stupid can you be, man? Let's see if I can find the latest on that one. I'm gonna have to do a different search on this actually. Okay, it's not coming up on the on X for some reason, which is weird because you would think it would, but apparently not. See if I can find a. I think I saw it on Facebook the other day. Okay, here we go. I think this is it right here. No, wait, that was not it. Damn it. Where in the hell is this video? I know I saw it the other day. Yeah, it's not being found. Okay, but yeah, basically what happened was there was a white dude in some grocery store minding his own business. He's probably like, I would say at least late 50s, if not early 60s, honestly. Just minding his business, grocery shopping. You have, I believe it was 4 black teens go in there, start fucking with him, harassing him, etc., etc. 3 of them start taking stuff out of his cart, and just being like, "Oh, this is what I was looking for," all kinds of stupid shit like that, and like basically acting a fool. Basically, is what it is there. At which point he pulls a revolver out and is like, "Put it the fuck back." And of course they do, and then they walk off like a bunch of retards. Is what it is then. And that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, stop fucking with people, dude. And like, it's this kind of fucking nuisance behavior is exactly what has led to previous laws in the past, whether it be nuisance laws, whether it be menace to society laws, whatever the case be at that point in time in history, whether it even be Jim Crow laws for that matter. And it's exactly why I could see us having something like that again now in the near future would be then, because people have just had enough of what it is, dude. And it's just like, yeah, we've had enough of your stupid bullshit, you fucking retards. Like, get the fuck out of here is what it is then. And I think that's exactly why you're seeing so many of these encounters happen nowadays is what it is. Because, like I said, instead of going out there and getting a real job, you have these retards wanting to speed run to fucking millionaire status is what it is there. Even though none of them are ever going to be anything near that. They're all going to be a bunch of fucking ass clowns is what it is there. And are going to amount to nothing in their lives and probably be dead by the time they're 21, honestly, in many cases. But because we have these idiots thinking they can go out there and do social media stupidity is what it is there, you end up having more and more situations like that, leading to different things. It's kind of like that Tanner Cook kid a few years ago, where he was fucking with the random delivery driver guy who was like a DoorDasher or Uber Eats guy, or whatever it was. And the dude's like, get the fuck away from me, get the fuck away from me, get the fuck away from me. And he's like all up in the dude's face, and the dude finally pulled out his own revolver and just was like, pop, pop, and popped this kid in the stomach as it was a couple times, which I'm surprised he didn't kill him, honestly, with the shots. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, that poor dude had to face charges over the whole thing. Thankfully, he was let go is what it was, because it was self-defense in that case. And it was, again, one of these nuisance piece of shit streamers is what it is, dude. And it's like, this is the problem when you have parents not actually parent their children. You have entire generations of these fucking retarded morons thinking it's okay to go fuck with other people randomly is what it is then. And then they wonder when they get 2A in their face and get their fucking brains blown out on the fucking sidewalk is what it is then, of why the fuck it happened is what it is then. So, not hard to figure out, people. But anyway, going back to the whole Chud the Builder Dalton case, here's what it is. So there's a couple different updates to this whole thing that we're going to discuss right now is what it is. So you had the Isaac's Army account on X there bring up the fact of so Chud the Builder, real name Dalton Ellie, is a walking CIA psyop. Some contractor from nowhere suddenly goes full N-word Christian rage bait streamer, racks up views as a black Army vet outside of a courthouse. Too clean, too convenient. They're manufacturing hate to keep us divided. Classic social engineering, which I could totally see being the case. And then you have this one from earlier today, which was Dalton's bail has now been set at $1.25 million. And as I said earlier, I said, well, it looks like about 100K is going to be covered already is what it is, because this guy has a give send go right now is what it is. You have the guy who he shot basically having either a give send go or a GoFundMe. I'm not sure which one it is. That dude's has raised like 36K as of last night. I know I looked at Dalton's a little bit ago here because we also have another. There's a Facebook page, which I can bring up right now, where at the time of this, it had raised $137,000. Which, by the way, anybody giving these people money, you're a fucking idiot. I'm just gonna say it like it is, dude. Stop giving these morons money is what it is, dude. This guy literally caused this to himself and is now begging for fucking cash. It's like, no, give him a dime is what it is, bro. Like, if you're gonna give money to anybody, dude, give money to us at the network here is what it is, bro. Because people like Dalton Castle make our jobs that, or not Dalton Castle, Dalton Lee. People like Dalton make my job as a 2A advocate, as a 2A activist, that much fucking harder. Pieces of shit like this Dalton asshole literally give the fuel to your Mama's Man Action types, to your Bloomberg types, to your Everytown types, to your Giffords types, to go to general assemblies and try to get anti-gun laws passed in this country. Because they want to be a jackass is what it is, dude. Because they want to sit there and fucking rage bait. Because they want to sit there and literally give their entire story of what they're going to do criminally is what it is there to people, and then wonder why they get in fucking deadly force encounters that they claim self-defense in is what it is when they don't have self-defense on the child at all is what it is. There's a reason why Tennessee is charging them murder is what it is, attempted murder is what it is then. And the fact of the matter is, when I look at the whole thing, in the state of Tennessee, you cannot legally carry into courthouses. which it seemed like this guy may have been doing, or trying to do anyway at the time of his encounter with this other guy is what it is then. Now, granted, that being said, do I think that Dalton should be the only one charged in this case? No, I think the other guy should be charged as well, too, for that matter, because it sounds to me like this other guy who claimed to be an Army vet was stalking that area looking for this Chud the Builder guy is what it is. So, anyway. But going back to the Gibson Go thing, it's $137,000 a while ago there. And then as of right now, let's see if I can get an updated amount. Here's what it is. It was 139.8 something hundred. If I can do an update on this right now, see if it's surpassed 140 right now or not. Yep, it's now 143.80, which is insane to me, dude. Like, why would you give this idiot a fucking dime, dude? For real. Like, again, it's just causing more and more racial division in this country, dude. It's the typical Obama bullshit that we saw for fucking 8 years is what it is, dude. Where it was just rage bait, and racial divide is what it was then. So, no, Dalton's exactly where he needs to be right now is what it is. Then, of course, you got the guy who's running against Tom Massey now in Kentucky there. This Ed guy who wants to bring back the military draft for, quote, national security reasons, complains that the current system is too slow when it comes to sending large numbers of young Americans off to potential World War to die. Yeah, fuck this Ed guy, dude. Like, if this guy wants to do that shit, he can go fuck off himself to war is what it is. Dude, be the first on the front lines, what it is there. Because you notice something that we've seen for decades now in this country? We don't see senators' sons. We don't see congressmen's sons or daughters, or senators' sons or daughters, or any politician's son or daughter go off to war. No, it's always the poor people in this country that are sent off to die for fucking rich, elitist pieces of shit is there, dude. Meanwhile, you have Congress this week literally trying to justify their insider trading is what it is there, dude. And it's like, no, you fucking criminals all need to be at the end of your time in office because you all need to be in a fucking prison cell is what it is there, dude. For the shit you've all pulled against us is what it is. So. I also, I'm laughing because I saw this one earlier and I had to post it on our repost of it. They were on our network page is what it is. Where it was, stop racism. It's okay to be Indian, black, Muslim, Jewish, Asian, normal. I like how they have the Muslim guy as like a suicide bomber. That's funny as hell. So, yeah, good times. Good times had by all. But anyway. So yeah, we definitely have a problem in this country. And I think a lot of it has to do with just really, I think it's these sites just allowing these nuisance pieces of shit to even be on the streaming services what it is there, dude. Which I'm not trying to sit there and say that we should, ban free speech or anything like that is what it is. But the problem is when you have these people, whether it be your Dalton Ederle types, whether it be other people like that for that matter, who are openly going out there and their entire shtick is to basically cause division, to basically cause a nuisance to society, a mess of society, whatever the case be. Maybe we as a society kick them the fuck out of our society is what it is then, dude. That's the thing, like this, and like even Isaac Jarney brought up and stuff like that, this is the classic case of CIA SOP, basically. Because, and it makes logical sense when you start to think about it, right? Because you have these people who have tried to divide us. That's the thing. I've talked about this many times in the last like 6, 7, 8 years now, what it is, where the entire go-to strategy of the deep state, of the Democrat Party, of all of it, basically, the elitists, the globalists, your Soros types, your Bilderberg types, all those people like that's what it is. Their entire go-to strategy for centuries at this point now is quite literally divide and conquer. And it's very easy to divide and conquer when you go on race-based tribalism stuff is what it is there. And that's exactly the problem that we've seen in our society for so long is what it is there, dude. You have white people being attacked constantly on a daily basis, it seems like. And then you have these other people that are basically going to free pass is what it is. But then you have every other race, whether it be black, Asian, Latino, I'm trying to think now. Black, Asian, Latino, Arabic, etc. there, who have all gone tribal. The only race that's not gone tribal is white people at this point, dude, honestly. And I think that's the only thing that's actually kept us right now from ending up in a race-based tribalistic war is what it is, whether it be a second civil war that becomes a tribalistic war, whatever the case be. And I still believe that's going to happen very soon. You know, it could be this year, it could be next year, it could be 2028, it could be 2029, it could be 2030, for that matter. But I believe by 2030, we're definitely going to see something pop off at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts right now, what it is. I also think we are definitely, when it comes to, if you go biblical and stuff like that, I think we're definitely in the end times right now when it comes to Book of Revelation, like the early stages of it, because, like I said with Kirk a few weeks ago now is what it is. I truly do believe that one is a whore of Babylon at this point. And then you start looking at other stuff that we've seen that kind of matches up with the Book of Revelation. Not to mention when you look at how demonically evil and satanic Hollywood is at this point, and how they're always mocking Christianity, how they're always, you know, doing all kinds of blasphemous shit. I mean, hell, look at the last season of The Boys here for the last, like, 5 or 6 episodes of this fucking show, dude. Like, it's just nothing but fucking blasphemous at this point, dude. It's all trying to make the Homelander character essentially God. They're trying to fucking do all kinds of other crazy shit. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, we really need a second coming at this point, honestly, dude. Like, we seriously need Jesus to come back down from heaven and just, like, reset the fucking clock as it is right now. So, anyway. Like, it's all becoming way too much anymore is what it is, dude. I think a lot of us are just experiencing exhaustion at this point is what it is, dude. Whether it be political, whether it be YN related, whether it be everything basically at this point in society. So, I know I am recently because my friggin' neighbor kid Mickey was just being kind of out of it this week is what it is. I'm not sure what his problem is at this point, dude. Like, I don't know if it's alcohol-related dementia. I don't know if it's something else for that matter, if it's just memory lapse because of his drinking and stuff like that. Who knows? Because I was over there talking to him the other day. He didn't even seem to recognize me at all. And then claimed he just moved in there. And I'm just like, I know for a fact this dude's lived there for a couple of years is what it is now. Lived there at least a year longer than I have is what it is. Living here is what it is. So, yeah, I ended up having to call the cops on him Wednesday night because of noise complaints is what it is. And then it was even after that, he still kept it up. And I ended up knocking on his door at like 1, I think it was like almost 1:50 in the morning that, so it would have been like Thursday morning basically. And talking to him, and he's like giving me this whole like weird, it's almost like he was reading off a cue card at that point where he's like, oh, I apologize for anything I may have caused you or whatever the case be. And he's like somewhere in this under his breath when I'm like trying to talk to him is what it is then. It's like, it just came off very weird. Like he was stuck in like a dementia kind of loop or something is what it is, which is no good because when you're not even 30 years old and you're already having those issues, bro, like maybe you get the help you need is what it is. I heard his buddy came over earlier today is what it was and was trying to check on him. I'm hoping they can get him the help he needs what it is or something, dude, because he definitely needs something. There's what it'd be. So, but who knows? So, anyways, I'll let it go for now. But if it keeps up next few days or whatever the case be, I'm definitely gonna have the local PD do a welfare check on him as well to be then, because I definitely fear for this man's well-being at this point. He doesn't need that. He's what it is. So, anyway, but yeah, needless to say, this Dalton guy is pretty much everything wrong when it comes to 2A stuff is what it is, dude, because he's basically, like I said earlier, he was trying to basically fuck around and found out what it was then. And when you're specifically talking about like, oh, I'm gonna go do First Amendment stuff when you don't even understand how the Constitution is what it is there, it's just fucking dumb. I think Colleen Noir did a fairly okay breakdown of things. Like, obviously, he tried to take a little bit racial as well, unfortunately. But I did appreciate Colleen's take when he talked about both Second and First Amendment rights is what it is there, and how it's actually government that is protected against, not, other people and stuff like that would be then. So, now granted, that being said, it does extend down to that, obviously, over time. We've accepted that as a society is what it seems like anyway. But my thing of it is, like, as far as I'm aware, when it comes to the whole timeline of events, here's what it is. I'm going to see if I can bring this up real quick, because I know that it was Legally Armed America did a breakdown of this week, and he did a pretty good timeline of events. There's what it was, of how this all went down. I saw that Tennessee courthouse. There's what it was. I think that was it right there. Okay. No, I saw it. Oh, shit. Where did it go? Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can bring this up now. Yes, this is supposedly the timeline of events, how this happened on Wednesdays when it was then. So you had around 1:15 to 1:20 is when Dalton was at the courthouse for a civil matter, was scheduled to appear over a alleged $3,300 debt to a credit company. And it was the second part of this was inside the William Plaza. He got into a physical confrontation with 31-year-old Joshua Fox, which I want to point something out here on this one, is if this is the same Joshua Fox that people have brought up in various comment sections, this Josh guy has also been charged with various crimes in the past couple of years now is what it is. And actually, yeah, right here is what it is. Like, he actually has his little orange suit is what it is on there. So this guy's already a convicted, I believe, felon, or at least misdemeanor criminal is what it is then. And so you have that being a mitigating factor as well in this whole thing. And then not only that, but then you also have this dude claiming military vet status and then claiming to be disabled vet with PTSD and stuff like that. There's been people making accusations. I don't know how true these are or not, but I guess there is a lot of specific disability fraud is what it is within the community. There is what it would be then. And specifically the black community is what it is, doing disability fraud after claiming to be when they had or in the military for something is what it is. Maybe not even combat vets, just randomly, like a cook or something. That's what it would be then. So yeah, you had getting into physical altercation with this Fox guy. Fox threw the first punch, according to Eloy's account, and multiple witnesses. Fox threw a sucker punch. Eloy drew and fired his firearm in self-defense, hitting Fox in the shoulder and chest. Both men were injured because, of course, Dalton's dumbass ended up shooting himself too, is what was there. So in the chaos, Eloy also grazed and shot himself in the arm. Both men were hospitalized and listed in stable condition. And then we got Dalton, Chud The Builder, Eloy, went to courthouse, $300 civil debt, says he was sucker punched by Joshua Fox, drew firearm, and claimed to fire in self-defense, hit Fox in the shoulder and stomach, grazed or shot himself in the arm, hospitalized in stable condition, and now is in, obviously, the local county jail is what it is there, and now he's being, as of this morning, he got the $1.25 million bond is what it is there. And you got Joshua Fox, who's in stable condition, allegedly threw the first punch, sucker punching Dalton, shot in the shoulder and stomach, and was hospitalized. So, and like I said, both have histories of various degrees when it comes to criminal activities, what it is there. You had Fox be charged with some kind of crime, is what it was, like a year or two ago. You had Dalton in the past, like 7 to 10 days now, literally go to a steakhouse, order, it was like almost $500 worth of shit at the steakhouse, and then try to die and dash on that bill as it was. And then apparently went back to the exact same steakhouse and was literally streaming himself, basically doing the whole rage bait shit at people, talking about chimping out and calling them N-words and stuff like that. That's what it was. It's so ridiculous what it is, dude. Now, granted, that second part was all from I heard from Calling the Wars videos. What was he did yesterday is what it was then. So take that with a grain of salt if you will. But I assume it's all legit. I assume because Colian seems like the kind of guy. I think he has like a small team of people. Is what it is there. That will usually do like various fact checking forms. What it is there and try to dig up more information. Is what it is then. So I think there's going to be a lot more to this story before it's all said and done. Like I said, I think personally both guys are in the wrong in this situation. What it is there, dude, because you have one guy who may or may not be a CIA operative or a CIA SOP for that matter, and this Dalton dude, literally going out there and rage baiting people, and then being like just a complete jerk off is what it is then in general. And then you got this other guy, this Josh Fox guy, who was clearly like there for some reason, whether it be he was stalking Dalton, whether it be maybe hell. And that would even make more sense now if that'd be the case when you start thinking about it, right? Is if this entire thing was a complete stage situation, is what it is then. Because that would make sense to me as well, for that matter. Like if the whole thing was actually just, a setup, basically, is what it is there. Where it was supposed to be dude just getting shot in the shoulder or whatever. And then it was just heat of the moment kind of thing, or whatever the case be. Shoots him in the stomach too, or whatever the case be. But then that's the thing, right? Like if you know where to shoot someone, like you can make sure to shoot them and they're going to survive is what it is then. And it would just be this weird ass thing where they were both involved in something bigger is what it is then or something. But again, I don't like to go in those grand conspiracy things like that's what it is, because sometimes they are true, but like it takes a lot to eventually make it like that. I think it's more logical that this Dalton guy is some kind of fucking psych operation is what it is there. And the other guy was just an idiot that fell for it is what it was then. And was trying to start shit or whatever then. So I think there's a lot more to the case. But yeah, I think both of these guys should have been charged with various crimes what it is then. So I think it'll be interesting to see exactly how many videos come out after the fact is what it is here, because we had the one where it shows them with like some state troopers around them or whatever the case be, and like obviously fighting each other, and like the shots are fired over then. But it also kind of makes me wonder if there wasn't like, whether it be Dalton himself live streaming, and then maybe is a stream of that, if that'd be the case, then out there somewhere. And then also if there potentially would be other people that were eyewitnesses, potentially maybe filming too real quick as what it is then or something. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I don't know. I think it's very interesting to me, given the fact that Tennessee is both a constitutional carry and standard ground state, but yet they charge this dude with attempted murder is what it is then. So it definitely tells me that there's more to this story than is being let out to the general public as what it is there. And obviously you had DA or the DA's office or something like that for that matter, realizing like, hey, there's enough here to charge this guy with something is what it is then. So who knows? And again, if you go to the grand conspiracy part of the whole thing, who's to say they're not involved too, for that matter, just to try to do this whole thing and, basically blame white people for everything again, it'll be then. So yeah, hard to say, man. I think the whole thing is just a bunch of shit in general. That's what it is, dude. And like I said, it just pisses me off for several different reasons, mostly because of the fact that there's somebody who's been, a gunner now for almost 8 years and has been a 2A advocate pretty much that entire time. It makes my job so much harder to protect rights and stuff like that across the board, when you got idiots like this going out there and specifically saying, oh, I'm going to go out there and drop N-bombs on people and talk about them chipping out and shit like that. And then you carry a gun with me just so I can fuck with them and get away with it, is what it is then. Because that's basically what that Dalton guy was doing this whole time, dude. He admitted that shit in multiple posts and multiple videos, etc. there, where that was his basically entire thing, was to basically get somebody to fucking attack him just so he could shoot him as well as them. So, and it's like, when you're giving away your entire plot, dude, like, I'm honestly thinking maybe that's the reason that the Tennessee justice system did arrest and charge this guy as what it was then. because they realized, like, yes, he was basically admitting to crimes and like premeditated stuff is what it is there. And it's like, yeah, I'm honestly surprised they didn't try and get him, like, because I'm pretty sure he was only charged with attempted murder. What it was then. I don't think it was premeditated murders would be then, because they could have got him for that, honestly, potentially, if they're looking at a social media post where he's basically admitting that the whole thing is what it is there. But I do think it's funny. The one thing I thought was really funny, actually, with what I watched the Coy Noir's video the other day about this whole thing, was Noir when he was talking about Dalton's previous crimes of the steakhouse and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, this dude's trying to just do a speed run through the Tennessee justice system is what it is. And it's like, yeah, it sounds about right, honestly. But yeah, that's the thing, right? You don't go out to places and like fuck with random strangers, stuff like that, dude, unless you're trying to legitimately get a rise to somebody and get them so aggravated they're gonna assault you is what it is. So I don't know, the whole thing just feels very like off-putting, odd for sure in general. And I really think it's a situation where, again, it could be easily resolved if we just ostracize these morons from society in general is what it is then, dude, on all sides of the aisle. You know, whether it be people like Dalton, whether it be people like Johnny Somali, whether it be people like this fucking, like, Hawaiian kids I was talking about earlier, dude, that were fucking with that guy in the grocery store. Like, if we just simply said as a society, no, we're going to keep some people out of our society is what it is then, dude. Like, fuck them off to an island or something like that's what it is then. Let them have their stupidity on a fucking island would be then. We could all be better off as a society to be then, you know? It's like, who was it? It was Osmond, it was Osmond Gold, like 6 months to a year ago or so. Was talking about the 2% rule thing. And it was basically, if we arrested 2% of the population out of society, we would have almost no crime across the board all right now is what it is. Which is fucking nuts when you think about it, dude. Because how many people are already sitting in prisons in this country right now? They only make up, I think it's like 1/4% or something like that's what it is. Like maybe not even that much even. It's like it's either 1/3 or 1/4%, something like that. So we would still have to arrest like, I think it's like 1.6% of the population or something like that then. So I don't think we're doing that, obviously, because, again, why would we when you got politicians that are making money off of shit? Whether it be that or whether it be anything else for that matter. And, you know, you got the people that are these activist judges that are just letting these career criminals go back on the streets and stuff like that, which that is one thing that does bother me, too, that somebody did bring up. And that's the one thing I reposted is what it was, then where I kind of went off this morning about the whole thing, because you have... It was them trying to basically equate Dalton's case to that of Irina Zarutzka and the piece of shit that murdered her is what it was there, where you got that fucking psycho career criminal black dude basically being let off and basically let to rot now is what it is, because he's so-called too insane to basically stand trial at either a state or federal level is what they claim it now is what it is. But yet Dalton, you know, does this whole thing, potentially could be considered the victim in this case if you actually believe his side of the story is what it is there. Like if there's actually evidence of him getting punched in the face, would it be then? Because as far as I'm aware, the timeline of events went, it was basically him coming out of the courtroom, or not the courtroom, courthouse or whatever the case be there. Him saying something to this dude, or I think it was this guy saying something to him is what it was then, of like, don't fuck with me or whatever the case be, and claiming like PTSD or whatever. And then Dalton's response supposedly was, oh, you're going to chip on me? And then the guy literally ran up and sucker punched him as what it was then. And then that's where I believe the video started, where you could see them like wrestling around with each other in front of the courthouse. Or is what it is, but it's like a really shitty camera angle from like far away. So I assume it's like a CCTV camera from the actual outside of the courthouse or something like that would be my guess. So it'd be interesting to see if anybody around there was filming on their phone or anything like that. If there's any of those videos that are going to pop up anytime in the next like few days or so. So, because like I said, I definitely think there's more to this story than's being let out there. I think there definitely could be something where this maybe was like a staged attack, if you will, if that be the case. Because that would actually make logical sense to me as well. Because why the fuck would this dude know where the guy was going to be unless Dalton's an idiot and let him know where he's going to be basically. And it was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be at this fucking courthouse on Wednesday morning, wherever the case be. And it's like, okay. So, yeah, it just seems very weird in general. But yeah, like I said before that day, I had no idea who the fuck this moron was, is what it is, and I wish I didn't today, honestly, because I still think it's fucking idiot what it is there, dude. And like I said with other people, bring up the fact it makes logical sense when you start looking into this stuff, dude. Like how most of these people get fame, it's not any kind of like actual grassroots stuff. It's literally fucking psyops and stuff, dude. It's a bunch of shit, honestly. It's manufactured fucking division. It's manufactured racial division in a lot of cases nowadays. And it just needs to stop. We just need to stop as a society, is what it is there, man. Like, I would love to see us come together as a society and just be like, hey, enough is enough of this shit. But that's not going to happen when you have fucking piece of shit politicians fucking over American citizens and trying to import third world, is what it is then. To be a worker-based, be a voter-based, etc. There's what it is. So, anyway. That's where I'm at right now with the whole thing. But I'll do an update if there's one to be had here in the next few days, what it is there. But other than that, that's pretty much all of my thoughts for the day on this whole situation. And like I said, I think it's very sad that we are living through what appears to be the beginning of the Book of Revelation, but also really the early stages of idiocracy at this point, because I'm going to see if I can find this one real quick, because I think we got to finish off with this one today, man. If I can see here and find it real fast. I don't think I put it away yet. Let me see if I can grab it out of here. So, okay, now it's already, okay, let me go to Discord then real fast. And I'll re-grab it. Sounds like my neighbor guy is making some food or something right now. I'm going to do that pretty soon too. I think I'll make some eggs or something here pretty soon. Maybe do some sausage links with them. It's a pretty good meal when you can get it. So. Yeah, this is apparently an article that came up like 4 or 5 days ago now, where it was headlined as the following: men are ball maxing their testicles until they've inflated to the size of grapefruits. Which men exactly is my first question on that one. And then secondly, my God, we really are in the early stages of idiocracy at this point, bro. It did not take 500 years, people. Oh my God, we are so fucked society right now is what it is, dude. Like, I swear to God, if I had the fucking Thanos glove right now, I would just start snapping that motherfucker like left and right, dude, for real. Like, it's enough is enough of this shit, man, for real. It's so insane. I was actually trying to find that specific article, but then when you actually look up ball maxing, such a stupid. Any of the fucking maxing shit is just retarded. But I just want to put that, whether it be looks maxing, whether it be this fucking ball maxing shit, whether it be whatever the case be, it's just stupid ass people making stupid ass trends that don't do exist as what it is then. But as the AI thing said here, it says ball maxing dangerous. Viral DIY trend where men inject substances, typically saline or Surgical lubricant into their scrotum to temporarily increase their size. That's just fucking retarded. Literally, dude. Then we had 21 hours ago why ball maxing may be more dangerous than you think. YouTube 3 days ago. What is ball maxing? Fox News on the 6th. Ball maxing is electrifying, addictive, euphoric, and something else. So fucking stupid, man. Like, so fucking stupid. My God. My God. We are so fucked, man. Like, we really are fucked as society, bro. Can we please just, like, jettison all the morons into the fucking ether at this point? Like, just send them into the sky, basically. Into outer space there with all the space junk. Like, I don't want to be on this planet anymore with these idiots, dude, for real. But anyway. Right now I'm waiting for a package to come today, which is supposed to be here anywhere from the next 15 minutes to the next 2 hours and 15 minutes. So the fact that it's not on my thing yet for being stops, I'm guessing it's going to be more like 2 to 3, honestly. Which is crazy because they had one for me the other day that they got here in about an hour and 45 minutes. So, but most of the time it's like 2, 3, 4 hours before they get it here. And in some cases it's more like 6, 7 hours. And at least half the times they deliver stuff to me from Amazon is what it was. So it's the only time I like them doing it through USPS is what it is, because at least the postman, I know exactly around the time that guy's going to come, because it's anywhere from like 1 to 3 usually, roughly, give or take. Maybe around 4 at most. So, like, I know it's around that 3-hour window, give or take, then, to where it's like somewhere between like 1 o'clock and like 4 o'clock. And as long as I'm here, I can get the stuff easily. So, but yeah, that's about it for today. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day on that one. I will be back. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not even gonna talk about Slicey Boy Saturday, Sunday anymore, dude. Like, if I do one, I do one. If I don't do one, I don't do one. It's that simple, honestly, dude. If I'm feeling better tomorrow, I'll do one. If I don't, if I'm still feeling like I am right now, or I'm just feeling kind of shitty, honestly, I almost didn't do today's stream. But yeah, I'm feeling my joints are hurting like they are right now. Is what it is. I'm not doing anything tomorrow. So the only thing I might do is go with my cousin and go to a local grocery store because they got eggs on sale for like 75 cents a dozen, which is a good deal. So, anyway. But, yeah, other than that, though, that is where I will be at. Shit, I'm tired. But, yeah, other than that, that's pretty much where I'm going to be at for the rest of the day. I know for a fact I will not be doing anything next Saturday because I will be out of town, because I'll be going down to my aunt's place to go fishing is what it is then. So, for at least a couple hours anyway. And then probably go do some other stuff is what it is after that then. But yeah, other than that, that's where I'll be at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Like I said, my final thoughts and everything when it comes to Dalton, when it comes to all this stuff. I think Dalton's a fucking idiot. I think everybody involved in this situation is a fucking idiot, whether it be him, whether it be that Joshua guy, et cetera, et cetera. Most likely both guys should have been charged with something, whether it be Joshua being charged with aggravated assault or menacing / stalking and stuff like that, if that be the case, or even both for that matter. And then obviously Dalton was charged with attempted murder, is what it is then. So yeah, both of them should really just be in the county jail. There's what it is in Tennessee. Everything else, let them finish the fight they started, what it wasn't or something, dude. So, but anyway, that's about it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see y'all on the next one. If I do an update about this anytime in the next couple days, if there's any information then, or if it's any information next week or whatever, by next Friday, I'll do an update then or whatever, probably. most likely I'll keep watching the Gibson goes and stuff like that to see how far this Dalton guys goes and how many stupid people are super doing to this guy's what it is then, because like I said, dude, do not donate to this guy's fucking Gibson go, bro. Like, this whole thing is obviously a fucking psyop of some kind. The guy's a fucking asshole. He was trying to antagonize people and fuck with the wrong person as it was then, and now he's sitting there facing attempted murder charges what it is. So yeah, don't fucking give money to these morons what it is to pay their fucking bail and stuff, dude. Like, let them fucking rot. Let them be exactly what they need to be in a fucking prison cell is what it is there. So, anyway. But yeah, that's about it for today, though. As always, stay safe, stay vigilant, always be carrying, always be situationally aware. As we get closer to the 4th of July, things are definitely going to get more intense, I believe, and we potentially could see a crazy Islamic sleeper cell attack on the 4th of July, which is literally less than 2 months from now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is exactly 7 weeks from tomorrow. It's the 4th of July. So, yeah. Stay safe, man. My biggest advice to everybody out there right now is stay away from any large gathering on the 4th of July. Like, unless it's going to be you and some family members someplace, like out in like the rural areas or whatever this country, having like a get together or whatever the case be, that's one thing. But if you're going to be thinking about going to like the fireworks show or any kind of celebration that's going to be just large crowds and stuff like that, I would say avoid the shit out of that thing, dude. Because I guarantee if something does happen, that's exactly where they're going to be targeting is what it is then. So, yeah, anyway. But, yeah. I'm getting very irritated in general with our government at this point, dude, because you'd rather have Trump bitch and moan and talk about importing a bunch of fucking Chinese, potentially sleeper cell agents now, what it is now, on student visas and stuff like that, instead of just dealing with the actual fucking terrorist stuff that's already on our soil, what it is, bro. Like, you don't need to import people. You don't need to keep fucking colleges afloat by importing fucking third world trash, literally. You need to let these fucking colleges die out is what it is, bro. If they cannot support themselves by who already exists here in America, then fuck them. They shouldn't exist at all is what it is then. Like, stop forcing taxpayers to fund these piece of shit universities is what it is, bro. Seriously. End of story. So, yeah, anyway. Till later. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Stay safe. And check out the knife streams when we do them during the weekends. So, later, y'all. Bye.